What about gangs in the prison system? How does that work? I know it's probably extremely popular. You know what I'm saying? How does is the gangs running a large part of it politically? What's the energy like?
Gang politics is big in prison, but it's so fucking fugazi that it's like not even really worth it to go in there fucking with that shit. I tell people if you had a choice,
right,
and you from fucking your neighborhood bloods or shit, wherever you from, I would advise a nigga that's going to TDC to not participate with the prison gangs, or as far as bloods or Crips in prison. That shit crash dummy shit, and it's some shit that's gonna have you really like fucked all up. It's not good situations. It's like, it's basically you done jumped off the bus, came to prison, and now all of these niggas up here that you don't know from goddamn me, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, East Texas, West Texas, any nigga that call theyself a blood from anywhere, all of a sudden become your responsibility, your homie, your this, that, and the third. It's a recipe for a disaster because you don't even know them. You ain't got the opportunity to figure shit out for yourself. I tell niggas, leave that gang shit in the world. Yeah. If you go into the pen. Now, some people grew up in the pen, so the politics end up finding them anyway. But leave that, if you from wherever you from and they know you as that in the world, I'm talking about Texas prison. I ain't talking about, I don't know how it is in California prison where you gotta hold it down for everybody. But I know, man, if you come up in this bitch, man, being in a prison gang is some shit that's gonna have your dumb ass in there for a long ass time. Fucking with the politics of that shit. And this shit is very political. Meaning that if you a nigga from fucking LaGrange, I'm trying to pick a city.
That's a real city, LaGrange.
Oh, I'm trying to pick some. Let's say you from Cuero, Texas, right?
Okay.
And you a raw, real nigga blood from Cuero, Texas. You done did some shit that's a fuck up. We human beings, we all fuck up. The bigger the cities, the more the politics favor them. So if you from Houston and you do a fuck up or whatever, you might don't get that DP that you would get if you from fucking Cuero, Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The politics are different.
Hell yeah, it's the politics.
But once you come to prison, it's a little different.
I'm saying like you from Cuero, Texas, you done fucked up. You done did some shit. Maybe you done stole something. Yeah. From your celly or whatever. Man, them niggas, do you understand what a DP is? Man, them niggas line to send them two niggas up in there big as fuck to beat your bitch ass down to the ground, yeah. And fuck over you. But if the nigga from goddamn me, Harlem Clark or goddamn me, Wesley Square, he ain't, and guess what? Fort Worth niggas, they don't have, man, them politics don't work for no Fort Worth niggas, man. Fort Worth niggas don't know how to go by none of the prison politics, man. They above it and oblivious to it. You know what I'm saying? You very rarely catch niggas catch a nigga talking about some gang shit where they had to goddamn me DP or goddamn me make a Fort Worth nigga catch out. Fort Worth niggas is above all gang politics in TDC, man. Damn near.
And that's just because of how they rock or how they move.
It's a high respect level for Fort Worth gangs, for sure.
On the gang side.
So when you goddamn me somebody from another thing is this. Let's say it's a Crip from Agland, Fort Worth, right? Mm-hmm. And he done some shit where they supposed to give him a DP, some type of discipliner, right? And the niggas on his wing is from South Park and Fifth Ward or the Bricks, Acres Home on some Crip shit. Okay. They the ones that's supposed to, man, that nigga not going for that shit. He already, yeah. Yeah. And his city ain't on, man, ain't finna let y'all fuck with that nigga like that. And vice versa. They stand up for theirs. So when you a nigga that's from a small place, that gang shit is not gonna necessarily work out in your favor when it comes to the politics of being, which is why you need to go up in that bitch, really mind your business. And much respect to them San Antonio boys, man. San Antonio gang members is treacherous and top notch. when it come to, and that's not something that a lot of people know. In the Texas prison system, you find out a lot about them San Antonio gang members, Bloods and Crips. Them niggas treacherous. They bought that life. They bought that action. They might be a little different acting than some people, but they real treacherous niggas, and they deserve a lot of respect.
Okay. Okay, but ultimately, do you feel, because listening to what you said, do you feel like the gang culture in the prison system is flawed?
The gang culture in the penitentiary is some shit that's gonna have your ass in the pen for a long time.
Yeah.
Because problems.
Adding more time to your sentence, all that shit.
Huh?
Adding more time to your sentence, all that shit.
Yeah, and it's gonna keep you in trouble. Because at any time, some shit that ain't got nothing to do with you can become your business and can become your concern. Now in the feds, that shit is mandatory to follow down that line of whatever you gotta do for whatever your car you in. In TDC, by and large, you can stay up out of the bullshit. You can go to the pen, focus on whatever you focus on. Yeah, you might have some problems here and there because that's the nature of being around a bunch of niggas, a bunch of men. But you can weave the bullshit if you go to the penitentiary, put your motherfucking head down, find you something to do, find you some business. But when you start playing off in the business, yeah, it's gonna get washed up in the politics, man. And a lot of times it might don't go your way.
For sure. Okay, so would you say, let's say someone goes to the penitentiary. They're not in the gang. Let's say they got a couple years, less than 5 years. They want to do their time. They want to go home to their family.
Yeah.
What would be the best advice for that person?
Get you a trade. Come up in this motherfucker. Become dedicated and focused to their education process. A lot of these units got college and shit on them. Go to college. Sit your bitch ass down. Do not claim a seat in the day room. It ain't no this where I be sitting at or nothing like that. That shit is big in jail. Claiming a seat, having a place where you always are at, like becoming a creature of habit, is something that can put you in a position of having to defend some shit that ain't even yours. A lot of niggas get their ass whooped over benches and seats and chairs and shit because somebody else think that that's their seat. Even though once we crash out, we both gonna get locked up and ain't nobody gonna have a seat. Then somebody else gonna start claiming the seat and the cycle continues. Very small shit in jail keeps goddamn a bunch of shit up.
Escalated.
Hell yeah. So when you add the gang shit to it, you learn to be on this side of the unit squabbling some niggas behind a nigga on that side of the unit that was all the time just fighting for a seat over there.
Yeah.
All this shit behind a seat. Yeah, you got to really think about it. It's very low level intelligence, but everything in prison is where you find out about it's the principle.
Yeah.
It's the principle. No, it ain't the seat. It's the principle. Yeah, that principle is a bad son of a bitch, and it ain't the nigga will kill you behind a suit. Nigga beat your ass behind $1. Yeah. And $1 in there is a motherfucking meat pack. Nigga bust your head over a motherfucking meat pack, nigga, because it ain't the meat pack. It's the principle.
Do you think prison is actually rehabilitating people or not?
You have to choose to want to be rehabilitated in Texas prison.
Okay, what percentage of people do you think are actually making that choice? Just a guess. People who go through the Texas prison system. From your personal...
More than half.
More than half are taking it and reforming themselves?
More than half are taking advantage of the opportunities to give themselves something to... Here's the thing about prison that a lot of people don't fully grasp. You got a lot of new dummies now, but most niggas go to the pen behind trying to get some money. Selling drugs, robbery, and shit like that. That's the main reason why we go to prison. Some kind of way, breaking in houses and shit like stealing something, like we're trying to get some money for the most part, or it's something anger related, you know. But it's other classes of criminals that are in prison, which a lot of niggas don't necessarily occupy, molestation and shit like that, you know. So when I'm saying that the majority of people are there and I'm saying if it's a 60-40 thing of the ones that I'm talking about, meaning that I was just high, doing drugs, trying to get me some money, and I got busted at the trap. I had my pistol and my work in the, you know, all of that type of shit, or I done ran and robbed the store or whatever. Well, when you get in there, it's not gonna take you that long unless you like in your teens or whatever. There's a certain age where you start wanting better and you start looking around at what opportunities that you have. And I ain't gonna lie, in Texas prisons, there's some opportunities. You can become an electrician. You can become a landscaper. You can become you can go to school for business, computer sciences. You can get your associate's degree in business management and a lot of other things. Like, it's a lot of shit you can learn in TDC if you got it in your mind to do that. But a lot of the allure of the other shit, if you seeing a nigga like Ad and you thinking, man, that nigga got cell phones and that nigga got all of this kind of shit, and you want to be a part of that shit come with consequences, man. A lot of niggas that was around us got busted with cell phones, end up getting more time and shit like that, all because they was trying to be fly.
Go straight.